Matching favourite cameras with photos, number 5. The Zenith TTL, my first SLR. I'd been borrowing my dad's Praktika, but I really wanted my own. I looked through the Argos catalogue, they only had Praktikas, £96.99. Way too pricey for me. I did have a look in the Great Universal catalogue, which was mainly for clothes and household goods, fridges and beds and ironing boards. And there it was, the Zenith TTL. It had through-the-lens metering. It was made in the USSR, and because it was the year of the Moscow Olympics, it had the Olympic emblem on the front. £46 or £6 a week for, I don't know, some weeks. Anyway, I ordered it and waited and waited and waited. The arrival date came and went, no sign of it. There was no delivery note. So I started bunking off from school, hoping to catch the delivery. I began to panic. I looked around the house outside to see if the courier had left it somewhere, but there was nothing. And then I went cold. The only place left to look was the bin cupboard, but the rubbish had been collected 3 days ago. I ran to the bin cupboard, opened the door, nothing. Opened the bin, and there, underneath a few soggy tea bags at the bottom of the bin, was a package addressed to me. Maybe the courier had something on their mind. Maybe it was just an automatic action. I'll never know. It was a complete mystery. I carried it inside as if it were the crown jewels. I felt like I'd saved a foundling. I unwrapped it and I just stared at it. I loved it. It was heavy, built like a tank. The metering worked well. It had limited shutter speeds, 500th of a second down to 30th of a second and everything in between, and a B setting. The viewfinder was dark, there was no split screen, but it was reflex, and what I saw through the viewfinder ended up on the film. I made a lot of mistakes. I learnt a lot about photography. I have a huge attachment to this camera, the camera that nearly never was. It had survived its escape from behind the Iron Curtain to very nearly ending its days in landfill in Mochtre, mid-Wales. And this is the photo. This was taken in my bedroom, parachutes on the walls and ceiling. My room looked like a Bedouin tent. I remember they cost £1 each from Cheap Charlie's. I had a carcass of a Lambretta Li 125. I had got it from a friend of my mum's who had used it as a donor for his Lambretta. This was one of the 2 Lambrettas in my town in those years. A few years later I bought a brand new Vespa 100 and was the only scooter punk around, until my friend Adi sold his trial bike and bought an older Vespa 90. This is my friend Tim in the photo, visiting from Birmingham. I did a long exposure while he held a lit match in his hand making a swirl pattern. It's a great photo and I was so pleased with it. When I see it, it takes me right back to that housing estate where I grew up, in what to me was that idyllic town in mid-Wales. This is the camera and this is the photo.